Welcome back to the Roy Works channel. So in today's video I want to talk about inflation. You heard enough about inflation? I am getting sick of hearing about inflation. But it always comes up when a pot like this costs almost $60. How does that make any sense? It doesn't. I don't get it. But I had to get it because I found out the hard way that the float in my carburetor was bad. I originally rebuilt the carburetor, but the float seemed to be good. And I've always seen on other videos that people have replaced these, and I've always wondered why can't you just fix them? Especially when I found out how much the price was. I was like, why can you not fix it? So let's take a look at the reason why I had to change it. So I've been noticing little by little, about a month ago when I was pulling this in and out of the garage, that little by little it's been like flooding out, and this little hole at the top, the overflow here, fuel has been coming out of this, and so I kind of knew that the float was going bad. The float actuates in here and shuts off the flow of gas into the carburetor, which I know all of you know, but just in case you don't. So I took it apart. The float had fuel in it, so I ended up taking the float, and I kind of knew it wouldn't work, but I just had to try it anyway. That's just how I am. I have to give it a shot to at least see why it don't work. So I took the float, which kind of looks like this, one, but it's all brass, and being a plumber I solder quite a bit, so I'm like, I think I can solder it, so I didn't want to solder it with the fuel in it because you know what would happen. So what I did, I took a utility knife and cut it and opened it up completely, got all the fuel out of it, let it dry out. Then I put it back together and I soldered it, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody because it doesn't work, obviously, because I don't think you can get it to solder perfect all the way around it. And to get it to solder perfect, you'd have to put a ton of solder on it, and that's going to actually weigh it down anyway, so it's not going to work right regardless. So it's not worth doing, but I had to. I'm stubborn enough and maybe stupid enough that I had to try it anyway. So I ended up buying another one. It was $56, almost $60, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but what do? You got to get it, right? So I'll show you what it does. So if you're running into the same problem, if you're seeing fuel come out of here like you're gonna see right now, I would recommend, if you see that, shut the motor down and do not run it, because your exhaust is right down there, and when that gets hot you don't want a fire to happen. So I'm going to just show you very quickly what it looks like, and then we're going to go through the process of changing this. Alright, so you can see what happens. Just barrel asses out of here, comes right out, drenches everything with fuel. It's a pain in the ass, and it's actually relatively easy to change this. The sun's kind of bright, so if the light shining off my head blinds you, I'm sorry. It's kind of the side effect of being bald. I kind of don't like working outside on a vehicle because, man, if you drop a screw and it goes down into the ground, you'll never find it. The thing I'm really worried about losing is this little cotter pin right here. So guys, you might notice I haven't been posting videos a lot lately. Funds for my projects are getting kind of low, especially with inflation, like I was joking about earlier. Things are definitely costing more, and the amount of money I have to put into these projects is definitely being strained a little bit. And my views on the videos have definitely been dropping quite a bit, so YouTube don't pay much anyway, but it's pretty much not paying anything now. So if you do like these videos, if you could pass it around, it would help me out, but I understand. Everyone's busy now, everyone's working, everyone's so many different videos out there. I definitely appreciate anybody that still watches. Some is kind of hard to make videos anyway because it's so busy. Because I work full time. I'm partners in a plumbing business, so it's definitely a demanding time of year. All right, so is the float. Now the important thing, especially when you're working over a gravel ground, I should get a rag and just put it under here. So if any little pot comes out, it'll land at least in the rag. All right, I'll be right back. Holding it up that way so the needle don't pop out when I take that out. Needle is still in there. Show you this in a second. I've already set this to where it should be. Seems to work a little stiff. All right, that looks good. Let's put it back together. So I was struggling a little bit is because this pin was off center. You gotta just make sure that's on center here. Alright, that worked good. So you can hear, there's a little fuel in it. It don't take much for it to throw it off. But you can kind of see my repair. Not the greatest. But not bad either. I don't know. It's definitely not worth doing that. I think it took me more time to do that than it was worth spending the money on it. But let me start it and see if I can do it. Alright, that worked out good. So you can hear there's a little fuel in it. It don't take much for it to throw it off. But you can kind of see my repair. Not the greatest. But not bad either. I don't know. It's definitely not worth doing though. I think it took me more time to do that than it was worth spending the money on it. But let me start it and see if that cured it. Looks like we're good. I love how these motors run. Oh my god, what beautiful motors. Or engines, I'm sorry. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for today. Kind of a short video. But like I said, videos might be spaced out a little bit more now. I'm thinking of concentrating, I think I mentioned it on the other video, I'm not sure. I'm thinking of concentrating on getting this painted, getting Ned painted, and also Bruce's body, his fiberglass body. I'm thinking while the weather's nice to get it painted up, and I don't think that will be too expensive. You know, so I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see how much that's gonna cost and paint. Like I said, things are getting a little tighter. Costs are a little, you know, groceries and everything, gas, oh my god, gas. So project's gonna slow down a little bit. But I appreciate you guys being patient, and for you that are still watching, I appreciate you guys watching and following along. In the next video, I think we're gonna be back to Shane's house. We're gonna be starting to do his wood floors. At this time, the painting is almost done, and it's looking really good. It's starting to get to the finished stages, which is really exciting. Looks like we're getting a bad storm here coming. Let me show you guys. Wind's starting to pick up. The skies are looking a little sketchy up there. But all right, guys, I will see you on the next video. Thanks for hanging out.